And good evening, folks. Welcome to this edition of Biz Talks. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with Zija International, wearing my uniform for the day, and excited to have you join us. This particular broadcast, and for those of you, some of you are with us live, some of you were redirected to the recording of this broadcast. Warm welcome to all of you, in particular those of you that are invited guests. Perhaps a friend, a coworker, maybe a family member has been sharing with you a little information about our company, or maybe you've been using our products for a while and wondering what the Zija business is all about. And what we're going to do over the next few minutes is I'm going to take a bit of time and I'm going to share with you a little bit about our company, about our products, about the timing for our business, the business side of our opportunity. I'm going to introduce you to one of our top people in the company. Some of you may have spotted the notice on Facebook or one of the other social media platforms. I intended to have Dr. Gayla Gates with me as my guest this evening. Unfortunately, a thunderstorm took out the power and the internet in her neighborhood, so we're going to have her back in a couple of weeks. But I wanted you to hear from people in the field and what's happening with them. And so let's go ahead. We'll start with the concept of a home-based business. In today's economy, more and more people recognize it's imperative that you not be dependent upon a single source of income. Going back in the days when I was raised in the 50s and the 60s, we were taught get a good education as much as you can, maybe go to college, get a good job, work hard, you would be taken care of. Well, guess what? That worked back then, and we all recognize that really isn't the case anymore. And more people are recognizing that the security of a job, all that really means is that one person, the person that has the power to fire you, they control 100% of your income and 100% of your free time. And so more and more people are looking for ways to create, an additional source of income. Something that can create a residual level of income, something that can be done, with a flexible schedule, done from home around your life instead of having to devote your life to the job, and what's left over is for your family and the things that you really want to do with your life. And so this concept of a home-based business has become something that's been very, very intriguing to people. Myself personally, over 30, I believe it was 33 years ago, I was introduced to this concept of a home-based business in the arena of network marketing or person-to-person marketing, multi-level marketing. There's a number of terms that are used. But what I recognized, it was the only way that a guy like me with my background at the time, back in the mid 80s, I was driving a truck for a living. I was running 18-wheelers cross country, and I was looking for a way to create a substantially above average income and the time freedom to be able to support my son as he was entering school age. And what I found was this was a way where a guy with, my background, my education, my, skill sets, none of those things seemed to make any difference so long as I was willing to put in the work. I was coachable, learn a system, had a desire to do more than average, and I could create a home-based business not only with a substantial income, but one that could then become residual and allow me to focus on the things that were important in life as opposed to focusing on making a living for my life. And the promises of the network marketing profession, all of those have been fulfilled over the years. And many things I've learned over that period of time, and that's kind of what I want to share this evening, the three things that you'd want to look at as you were making a commitment to building a financial security for yourself and your family. First thing to look at is the company. Who's running the company? Because frankly, the captain of the ship is going to determine the direction of the ship. And so those were really important. That was a really important issue. Certainly, number two, the products. There were specific criteria that I looked for. And then number three was timing. And I want to address those three things. And then I'm going to bring over Pat Andersen. For those of you that have been involved with the Zija company, her name is well known throughout the Zija community, and let her address those issues as well. But when you're looking for a company, here's kind of the simple thing to look for. Look at the owner of the company, okay? Look for somebody with experience and track record, successful track record. Look for somebody with integrity, because all three of those things are going to be essential for a long-term business. The owner of Zija International is a gentleman by the name of Ken Brailsford. Now, you might not recognize Ken's name, but you already know who he is. Ken is known as the father of encapsulation. He was the first person to take medicinal herbs and put them into gel caps, the little caps we're familiar with now. Many people use those for their vitamins and stuff. He was the first person to do that, put medicinal herbs in gel caps, making it easier for the average person to consume the benefits of these medicinal herbs. Ken Brailsford started his career back in the early 70s, started his very first company, Nature Sunshine. They've been in business over 40 years now, still in business to this day, billions of dollars in sales. Ken went on in the 80s to start his second company, today known as Unicity, started as Enrich International. Many of you are familiar with that company. Again, over 30 years in business, billions of dollars in sales. Combined, those two companies do over $1 billion a year in sales. And when you look at this profession, the profession of network marketing, close to 70 years it's been around, almost $200 billion in sales worldwide across the companies that are involved in this profession. Only one man in the history of network marketing has created two of the long-term billion-dollar companies. That's Ken Brailsford. And when I heard that Ken had come out of retirement a few years ago to start Zija International, his third and final company, to me, it was just a given. It was going to be a home run. How could it not be when you have that level of experience, success, track record? Integrity, very simple. To create long-term opportunities that have helped thousands of people create financial security, you have to have integrity to be able to have that longevity. Now, second thing I looked at is products. And a lot of people are introduced to this kind of business through a product. They like a product. They get excited about being involved. A lot of people don't recognize the kinds of products that lend themselves well to our distribution model. I always looked for, number one, I looked for products that were, cutting edge, first to market, category creator. It's always best if you're, the first one. I looked for products that were highly consumable. Ideally, products that people consumed on a daily basis, they reordered on a monthly basis. This kept an ongoing revenue stream through the organization. Thirdly, and most important, products have to really work. Ultimately, that's what our business model's about. It's about creating a consumer base. And if the product really works, if it's a meaningful product that people would buy independent of whether or not they're involved in, the business end of the business, that's what creates true residual income. Well, unlike when we first started in Zija, myself and a few people, we had one product, our Moringa oleifera drink. And you may want to do a little research on Moringa. Moringa is recognized today as the superfood for the 21st century. You're starting to hear about Moringa in all the major news outlets and so on. Zija International has been known from its very beginning as the Moringa company. Today, we are the world's largest grower, importer, and manufacturer of Moringa oleifera-based products. Over the last several years, we've expanded our product line to include a line of core nutritional products with our Moringa oleifera products at the base of that, a healthy weight management system, not a diet, but a change in the way your body works. We've had people that have lost, 20, 50, 100 pounds, several hundred pounds, and most importantly, kept it off. And see, that's the key. Diets, you go up and down. Myself personally, I'm going to be 64 years old here in a couple of weeks, and I weigh what I did 40 years ago in my early 20s, and have been able to sustain that. And you know what? I still eat a lot of the things that people think you can't eat. But that's the value of getting good nutrition. And today we've expanded into several other cutting edge, first to market product categories. We're the only company in the industry that has all natural, healthy sports nutrition line. We've got a complete line of sports nutrition products that are cutting edge without the artificial colorants and sweeteners and all the other things that are involved in that segment of nutritional supplementation. We've got the only, first to market, only clinical grade quality of essential oils. Essential oils, are literally being used to replace virtually everything that we've become accustomed to, from the pharmaceutical industry to the, household cleansers and body, products, but doing it healthy and naturally. We've got a complete line of skincare and body care and personal care products, all again without the harmful chemicals, based on quality nutrition. And when you look at the marketplace today, you don't have to convince people that the food chain is killing us. Everybody's already looking for healthy, natural, green, chemical-free, and we have the finest products on the market. It's a product line that you can build a huge consumer base with. And then finally, timing. This is something that's very interesting. There's a major misconception from people that are new to this type of business, that the right time to join a company is in the beginning, get in first, something like that, right? That couldn't be farther from the truth. The reality is, if you look at the numbers in almost 7 decades that network marketing has been a profession, there have been literally tens upon tens of thousands of companies that have come and gone. And yet today, there's only a couple of dozen, maybe a few more, maybe 30 companies in the history of network marketing that have been able to become the long-term income opportunities. Be able to create $1 billion in sales, 20 years in business or long, and still in business today. Reality is, the worst time to join a company is in the startup phase, because 99.99% of them don't last. Now, Zija International, we've already surpassed, we're in the top 1% of companies that have ever existed in this profession. We've been in business just over 10 years. We're approaching cumulative $1 billion in sales. More impressively, while we're a relatively young company and small company, we have an infrastructure that makes us look like one of those multi-decade, multi-billion-dollar companies. 100% fully integrated. We control the plantations our raw materials are grown in. We own the manufacturing facility, an NSF certified pharmaceutical grade manufacturing facility we create our products with. Tens of thousands of square feet of Class A office space, warehousing, distribution. We can ship to over 50 countries today, yet we are literally just a very small dot on the MLM radar. We are right at that point in time where we've created an infrastructure. We could do today over $1 billion in annual sales of our products, and we're just a small percentage of that, and that's the key. Find a company that's poised for massive growth in a very short period of time and get in before the masses. So that's a little bit about who we are, where we came from, and what we're doing today. I'm going to invite Pat Andersen. Pat, I'll give you a little heads up here. I'm going to bring you over to this side of the webinar. Let's see here. There we go. Pat Andersen, for those of you that aren't familiar with Zija International, Pat Andersen is extremely well known. Hello, Pat. Good to see you. Now, my question is, and folks, forgive me because it's just so hard to keep up with you. Are you on the ranch in Oklahoma, the new golf house in Florida, or the one in Arizona? Which is it?
We're in Florida till Monday.
Okay, very, very good. Yeah, Pat calls it her. What do they call that? A little house, tiny house?
My tiny house. I love it. My tiny office, but it's big enough.
Oh, yeah, it looks great. It looks big from here. Let me introduce you, Pat. I apologize. For those who aren't familiar with Pat, Pat is she's currently got the fastest growing organization within Zija International. She's one of our top income earners, one of our top trainers. She is the Zija International personified. When you look at Zija International dictionary, you're going to see Pat Andersen's face. And congratulations, Pat, because there's a lot of things that are going on in your organization. You just helped promote out, I guess, our latest triple diamond, Reed and Yvonne Nelson. But I wanted you to join us, and thank you for pinch hitting. We were going to have Dr. Gayla Gates. She's a medical doctor and now actually moving into the natural health revolution with us. But you also come with a holistic health background. And I thought maybe it would be helpful if you could take a couple of minutes, maybe address those three issues from your perspective, on why Zija and why now. And maybe we can start with the products, because I know that was the first thing that got your attention. With your background, tell us a little bit about your perspective on the products.
Well, if it hadn't been for the products, I wouldn't be here. It's that plain and simple. When you introduced me to the business, I was not looking for a business, could have cared less about that. But once we hung up the phone, all I did was start researching. And I actually, knew about moringa, but not the moringa name, known it by a different name. And it was in a lot of Indian remedies. And so once I found that out, it really appealed to me. And so, we only had the can. That's all we had back then. But that can was absolutely amazing, totally amazing. And I got such great benefits that it was like I needed to pay it forward, and I needed to just share it with absolutely everybody. Then we got developing the Smart Mix, and that was absolutely perfect for the horses. Mm-hmm. So I took it to the horse market. I'd already been promoting my own company line at trade shows, and all I did was put the moringa in with it. And not only was I helping the horses, but I was helping the riders who were in aches and pains and weren't riding their horses very well. So, the business just kind of exploded because of that. And no different now. We've just got such a phenomenal product line, wide variety that'll appeal to the masses. But people don't understand that I could still build the business on one product. Mm-hmm. Because I think moringa is absolutely the best, and it's what I lead with. All the rest to me are add-ons.
And you made an interesting point, Pat, because, and I don't know if, especially, particularly for the people that aren't familiar with your story, you were already a very, very successful businesswoman. You ran several different businesses. Your husband had his own business. You didn't come to Zija because you were looking for a way to make more money. And I know because, as you said, when we were talking back then, the last thing you were interested in was sucking up more time with another business.
Right.
But 100%. We did have something that you didn't have, which was residual income. Now, right. Clearly, you're trained in naturopathic medicine. You knew what to look for in the quality of the product. When we started to look at the potential of the business, what was it that you looked at? Because most people don't have your business savvy and acumen. They don't have that level of vision on what to look for in a business. What was it that you saw about Zija that got your attention?
Well, first off, I might be a doctor, but I only became a holistic doctor to keep me alive because I've had a health challenge for 40-some years. What I really am is an accountant. That's where my main degrees are and where I've spent all my career, was as an accountant. And so I totally break companies apart of, profitability. And that we talk about it many times. Is the company going to be sustainable? And of course I looked at Ken Brailsford. That was very important. He had to have the track record. I was not going to invest any time at all with somebody that didn't know what they were doing, didn't have the finances, backing. So that was really important to me. I also had to look at the company being debt-free. Okay. So there are a lot of good companies that start up, but they just don't have the finances to keep them going, or they grow too fast and don't have the finances once they really grow fast. Right. And so Ken had all of that in place already because he owns multiple businesses, not just Zija, multiple. And so all of these little things is what appealed to me in the accounting brain. And also that Zija was putting into place everything to be a billion-dollar company. So the infrastructure was being created in the early days so that we can be successful now. And a lot of companies don't look towards the future like that, but Ken does. He's always been a visionary, and I'm going to be honest, that's what really appealed to me.
Well, I had some experience, obviously, in the network marketing profession years ago, and I was with a company that had no idea what network marketers could do. And I mean, there was a point in time with that last company, we were literally selling product that wasn't even going to be manufactured for 2 months. They
Hmm.
were that far behind. It almost killed us. And yet to know, as I said, right now we could add one more shift and we could do over $1 billion in sales, and we're just a small percentage of that. So that
Right.
kind of brings us to the last topic, timing. You had an opportunity, I believe it was early part of, I think mid 2008 when you joined us, because all we had was that original Moringa drink in the can. And
Hmm.
you've seen us grow over the years, add additional products, additional infrastructure, and that sort of thing. You were part of that first mini wave when we went from 10 million a year to 50 million a year, and became a diamond elite because of that little mini growth curve, that spurt. What do you see happening as we speak today in terms of the next evolution of growth in Zija International?
Well, you just said a good point there. I grew with a very limited product line. Okay. It was the weight management that pushed me over. But I was talking to my team the other day, and when did I achieve that? It was in the summer.
Mhm.
It was in the summer, like we are right now. There's no reason to slow down. This is the time to be building. And I know there's lots of different segments of Zija that are just exploding right now over the summer, which
Yeah.
isn't normally a time to be building, but I think it is. I
Yeah.
love summer for growing. Um, what I see right now is exponential growth. Oh my gosh, I couldn't be any busier, but it's because everything's in place. So
Mhm.
we are attracting people that see what we have to offer, and that's really important. We have the product, we have the company, but people are more open now to what we have. Okay, the millennials, they want to stay healthy, they want to be fit, they love essential oils, they want to keep their weight off. So all of our product line and being natural, they're looking for that right now. And so we're starting to appeal in this last, I'd say this last 16 months or so, to a broader range of people. And it's only going to get better because now we're really hitting around the world, and we're able to share so much of our product line to many different countries. And so that's exciting. I know I can't. I said I can't get any busier, but I really want to get busier.
Well, I always, a long time ago, when I was first introduced to this type of business, a phrase is stuck in my head. Success leaves clues. If you want what the successful people have, just do what they're doing, follow in their footsteps. And what I'm seeing today is people like yourself, people that are at, frankly, at astounding levels of income. You've already been there, you've done it, and you got, what most people only dream about. And yet, what are you doing? You're in the field working harder than ever.
Yep.
That's the clue. Get in ahead of the massive growth. In literally about 100 days, we're going to have our summit convention in Orlando, the launch of Zija 2.0. We are probably in the next 36 months, we will do more sales volume than we've done in the last 13 years combined. And that's a clue.
Mhm.
Pat, listen, first of all, congratulations on all the success, and more importantly, the success you're creating in your team. That's really the fun part, the sign of leadership. And I appreciate you being able to jump in real quick. I was hopeful that you weren't going to be out golfing under the lights.
Oh no, 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 no. We're too busy working right now. And just let me close with this, Fred.
Mhm.
So many people are waiting. I don't know what they're waiting for. They keep just saying, well, we're just seeing. And I go,
Mhm.
by the time you find what you're looking for, we're already going to be where we want to be. So why not start working a little bit harder now and join us, and you're going to be right there with us.
I couldn't say it any better, Pat. That now is the time. Get in before the masses. Pat, thank you so much for joining us for a few minutes. I appreciate you jumping in at the last minute. Say hi to Jim for me, okay? Keep him busy working. All right, we'll let Pat go back over to the other side of the broadcast. And so, ladies and gentlemen, over the last several minutes, we've shared a little bit about the concept of creating a home-based business, the opportunity to develop a secondary income stream, something that you can build over time that can eventually become a residual income. We talked about the things to look for in a company. Look at the leadership, the ownership of the company. Do they have the vision that you have? Do they have the capacity and the track record to create a long-term income opportunity? Look at the right kinds of products. And then finally, the right timing. And see, people like myself and Pat Andersen, we got in before the masses when nobody knew anything. We had one product. We just kept working it and building a team. And when we went through that first wave of growth, we rose with the tide. And over the last several years, everything has been coming together, expansion of our product divisions, expansion of our infrastructure, expansion of our corporate team, to the point where now everything is in place and the only thing that's necessary is the expansion of the distribution organization. And for those of you that were invited this evening, or maybe you got directed to the video link on YouTube, I want to encourage you to do a couple of things. First of all, get your questions answered. Get back with the person that asked you to be on this broadcast. Obviously, this is not an extensive explanation and information about the product or how we build the business and so on. But get your questions answered. And one of two things is you're going to want to do. Either get on our products, become a product of our products, find out why so many people have been committed to the Zija Natural Health Revolution lifestyle and will never quit using these products. Find out for yourself. Use the products. You got, unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Might as well just get started with that right now. Now, for those of you that are ready to make that decision, to create financial security for you and your family, this is the second thing I'm going to ask you to do. The person asked you to be on this broadcast. They can show you how to get started with us. And if they're relatively new, there'll be somebody that's part of their upline support team that can help you and answer your questions. And if you're ready to make that decision, I want you to jot this down in your notes. Join us Saturday morning. Day after tomorrow, we're going to host a very special new distributor training, and we will go through all of the elements necessary to start on a part-time basis from home. And if you desire, and this is the key, whatever it is you desire, if you desire to create some additional or supplemental income, for most people, that extra $200 or $300 a week, that extra $1,000 a month of residual income without having to go get another job, that would change everything. For others, you're going to want to take it farther and maybe create a full-time income. And for some, if you're willing to follow the system, you can truly create a life-changing level of income with Zija International. So with that, thank you for joining us. We'll see you Saturday morning, 10 o'clock Pacific time, 1 o'clock East Coast time, this same webinar link. For the new distributor training. And one last shout out to Pat Andersen. Thank you for joining me, Pat. Appreciate you pinch hitting tonight. And we're going to have Dr. Gayla Gates on in a couple of weeks. I guarantee you, she's disappointed she couldn't join us, and she's going to be back with us. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. Take care. Bye-bye.